I had a really interesting dream last night that I think everyone can find some value in. And what my dream was I was invited to some kind of party or gathering in this old woman's, it was like a big old mansion owned by this elderly woman who seemed to be benevolent. So she seemed nice. And I go to this gathering in this big mansion, like big old school mansion, like Victorian style almost. And in like the big main room, it's where the gathering takes place. And I noticed there were some like shady guys there. And I don't really remember what they looked like, but they just seemed like they were up to something, and they seemed like, yeah, just gave me bad vibes essentially. So they all served food for everyone, and everyone was eating this food. And then the next thing I know, I'm in the basement of the house, waking up from this like coma, essentially. And I don't know how I found this out, but the party was on Thursday, and I woke up on Saturday. So I spent 2 days in this coma in the basement, and everyone else who was at the gathering was in the basement in this coma, which I think was induced by the food. The food was poisonous or, made to induce this kind of coma. So everyone else was in this coma or asleep or whatever. And I woke up 2 days later, and it was only me. And some of those shady guys were like walking around, like a couple of them came into the basement, I think, and they were just like walking around the house like they owned the house, essentially. I don't know what happened to the lady who was supposed to be the owner of the house, but these guys were just walking around. They weren't even that concerned with the people waking up and leaving. They just were kind of like basking in the fact that they owned the house, and they didn't really care about anyone else. That's the kind of feeling I got. So like I started to move a little bit, and like I got up. I was on a couch, I think, and I got up and I was like crouching around, looking around the basement, and then I see someone with a flashlight coming towards me. And at first, like, I was like, should I hide or what? But I decided not to. And that person coming towards me with the flashlight ended up being my dad, which was awesome. So then, like, we like embraced each other, and then we just walked out of the house. So my dad spotted me with the flashlight, and we both just walked out of the house, and that was the end of the dream. We didn't have any resistance or fight walking out of the house. We just walked out. And I'm starting to realize how profound this dream was. It's, in a sense, indicative of the human experience, both individually and humanity in general. And some of the themes, I'll just throw those around. In terms of interpreting dreams, a house is basically your mind. So it's the different parts of your mind. The basement is your subconscious mind because it's below ground. A flashlight, it has to do with like illuminating the way and that kind of thing. That one's pretty obvious. Your father can be either your father in real life, a father figure, a teacher that you learn from. And I just found this out this morning. It could also be your own your conscience, or your state of consciousness. So that's a big one. My father coming with the flashlight could be my consciousness activating, or me waking up from that coma or that sleep and choosing to do what I want to instead of being in that coma or in that sleep. So it's got that level to it. And this is, in my opinion, very relevant to what is happening with humanity. It's like humanity was cool. We had our nice house. It was watched over by this benevolent female figure, which could be Mother Earth. It could be the divine feminine or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But then you have this like group of up to no good guys that like kind of snatch the power away, and they try to take over the house, and they poison the food, and they put everyone into this coma. And then it's kind of your choice to wake up from the coma and just walk out, or walk out of the basement, or do what you choose, or you can stay asleep. And I think I remember that I also had the choice when I poked my head up and I woke up a little bit. I was like, I could go explore, or I could just lay back down and fall asleep. So I remember that too, which was really interesting. So it's kind of like we as humans have to learn to be conscious and walk on our own 2 feet, essentially, and make our own choices. And to not be, or not allow ourselves to be victimized by whatever forces are hijacking the house, whether it be our ego or whatever. Whatever you think those guys that tried to take over the house, or whatever you think they represent, it doesn't matter. The point is not being a victim of them and choosing to stand on your own 2 feet and choosing love over fear. That's what it comes down to. So acting based upon your own volition. So yeah, that's pretty much my breakdown. I might even write a short story based on this, because it was a really cool dream. It's fascinating both on the individual level and to view it on the collective level of humanity. And our dreams are very symbolic. We get these messages through symbolism. So they're very interesting. So figure out what that means to you and how you can apply it to your life. Maybe you have some insight. If you do, leave a comment. All right? I hope you enjoy yourself today, whatever day it is you're watching this, and have a good one. All right? Peace, peace. Much love. And one love, baby.